I think maybe because, look, he came from the business background. His dad was very prominent in the trucking business in Tennessee. And the trucking business, everybody says, well, it's a business. No, all businesses are not run the same, Skip. You can't, football is totally different than, it's hard for me to believe that a football business, the NFL, operates like a trucking business. And a trucking business operates like Google or Microsoft.
Yep.
Yeah, they're businesses, but you can't operate everything the same way. And it was a mess. And it's also in here that Hue Jackson believes that there's some people on the offensive side of the football that told, and I told you this, Skip Bayless, that they told Baker Mayfield something. This has nothing to do with Hue being fired and going to Cincinnati. And I said it, I didn't need this article to tell me. Somebody told Baker Mayfield something for him to feel some type of way about Hue Jackson. And this article validated that for me. But they got some issues. The question is, Skip, he has his guy in place. Hopefully, Freddie Kitchens does a great job. But how long? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Skip, next year they start 1-5, or they start 2-7. Then what? Because it seems to be, if they don't get off to if they're not 3-0 or 4-1 or 5-3, it's a problem.
I got to tell you, the deeper I read into this story by Seth Wickersham, the sicker I got for Baker Mayfield. This is a bad place. Every NFL team, the buck stops with the owner.
Absolutely.
The first decision that has to get made is that owner has to choose a GM and a coach. And if he chooses wrong, or if he wants to be the coach or the GM, you're going to lose. And you're not going to be able to get out from under it, because there's no public mandate that you can fire an owner. He owns the team. So
Exactly.
he's not in a government job.
Yeah.
You can't vote him out of his job. And it's clear to me after reading this story that Jimmy Haslam is a frustrated football coach.
Yes.
And it details that he wants more and more to be hands-on. He walks the halls every day of their facility, chatting with this guy and that guy, and it can be somebody at the low end of the spectrum. And he's open to, he wants to know what's going on. What have you heard? And if you tell him the wrong thing at the wrong time, heads are going to roll, because he will fire at a moment's notice. Somebody will be gone, because he's fired a whole lot of people. So in the end, I'm not sure you can overcome that over the long haul, because it sounds like his football philosophy has changed with the weather in Cleveland.
Right.
He wants to go this way, but then he decides, no, I want to go this way.
Oh, yeah, I like analytics. No, I don't like analytics.
And his analytics people, starting with a guy I knew in Oakland when he was a baseball analytics guy, Paul DePodesta, warned Jimmy that Hue is everything he didn't like in a football coach.
It was 4-1 against Hue to be hired.
Against Hue. But then he hires Hue, and then he fires Hue because he thought the team quit. The team didn't quit on Hue Jackson.
You quit believing in Hue.
For whatever reason, or maybe your quarterback quit believing, and you decided you had to take that to heart.
I'm reading in here about where Sashi Brown, who's a Harvard-educated, who's one of his analytics
No longer there,
that he nicknamed him Obama. And he's like, there are people in the thing that didn't like it, say it was offensive, and he's like, oh, it's a compliment. Oh, okay. I don't, like I say, Skip, I'm with you. The thing that whether you like the Patriots or you don't, the way they've structured their situation, Mr. Kraft is here, Coach Belichick, and then the players. Only one time in 19 years, I believe there's ever been a disagreement, or
I agree.
A disagreement that got to the magnitude that Mr. Kraft says, okay, Bill, you will do this.
And Seth Wickersham wrote about that a year ago. Go ahead.
Yes. Mr. Kraft knows what he knows. He's a businessman. He had to be a businessman, because how else would he have enough capital to be able to purchase the Patriots? So this is what I know.
Razors. Yeah.
Yes, this is what I know. Let me hire somebody that knows more than what I know. Now, I don't believe Coach Belichick handled him like Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells didn't want him around. Mr. Kraft's like, well, wait a minute. I understand you're cooking the grocery, but I'm buying the damn grocery. So I'm going to see what you cooking in these pots.
That's true.
I'm sure Mr. Kraft comes around with Coach Belichick. He doesn't offer anything. Like you go in the kitchen. Sometimes you go, my grandpa used to go in the kitchen. Now, we couldn't go in the kitchen, Skip Bayless, and look at my grandma's pots. But Papa could come in the kitchen, open the stove, look in the pots. no problem.
You realize a watch pot never boils. Remember that?
Hey,
You just got to check it out.
I'm sure ain't nobody tell Barney Porter that. But if the kids come in there and look at the pot, Granny, what you cooking?
Yeah.
Boy, you got slapped in your mouth. Boy, close that stove. Mr. Crafton come around.
He just wants to be in the loop. He just needs, just keep me updated. What's happening?
Yeah, updated.
Yeah.
He ain't trying to say, hey, Bill, you know, I really like this offensive lineman out of Texas. I think we ought to give him a look. That's not what he's doing. And I can assure you, if he were to have dinner, I don't even know how often Mr. Kraft were to go to dinner. Well, they'd never pick it in the top 15 anyway. So they go to dinner, and I'm not going to take a guy, Skip, because I didn't like the handshake he gave me. Really?
And he's running the football team, right? So to your point, Kraft, Belichick, Brady, they've been together for 19 years doing exactly the same way, which is why they have flourished. Drew Brees, Sean Payton, they have been together all 13 years Drew has been in New Orleans, right? They came in together.
Correct.
And they're still together, and they're going forward into a 14th year, right?
Yes.
Has it worked?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worked
and they
pretty
got
well.
the same GM.
Yeah, same GM. And they had the Benson family, obviously, but they weren't involved. They weren't meddling, to my knowledge. I don't think they ever did.
I don't think so either. Nope.
Tom Benson, I don't think he ever wanted anything to do with football.
Nope.
He would speak for the team. He was involved in politics and whatnot, but not football. And in this case, you have a Jimmy Haslam who just looks worse and worse because I thought Greg Williams did a pretty good interim job, right? And I thought he really did a good job with the defense. And all of a sudden, he is out.
Greg Williams got less credit for being the head coach than Freddie Kitchens got for being the offensive coordinator.
How's that possible?
I mean, can you imagine Josh McDaniels receiving more credit for the team's success than Bill Belichick?
No, I can't. And then you took Freddie Kitchens, who's been in the background his whole professional life, right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, you have made him the head coach, and you've taken him away in part from what he did best, work closely with Baker Mayfield. Now you can't work closely with Baker Mayfield, right?
Yes.
So, and back to real quick, your story about Johnny Manziel, and I was so close to this. Remember, Dow Loggins was the quarterback coach who loved Johnny.
Right.
He was the big proponent. But remember, the GM,
Ray Farmer,
did not love Johnny. The head coach, Mike Patton, did not love Johnny. And at the last second, as Johnny fell through the first round toward whatever they had, 23, 22, whatever it was, all of a sudden, Dow gets a text from Johnny that says, let's wreck the league together. Well, that's a mouthful because you've never done anything except win a Heisman Trophy, right?
Right.
And so he shows the text to the owner who says, take him right now. We don't. And they were furious about it. Ray Farmer was especially furious. And then Dow Loggins made the mistake of going on he's from Arkansas. He goes on an Arkansas radio station and tells this story.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Johnny Manziel's coming in and everybody's saying, oh, kid, so you're going to wreck the league?
Right.
Okay, good luck with that.
And so now he's the hand-picked guy for the owner.
Yeah.
So how soon? Now it's just a matter of time. We got to play him.
You're going to fail. It's not going to work.
The expectations alone.
I mean, look at all the head coaches. He fires Chudzinski after 1 year. I mean, Skip, you can't have 6 coaches and 3-4 general managers and then think you're going to have success.
No.
It's not going to work like that.
Listen, Baker Mayfield's going to have a hard time with this.
It's
just too dysfunctional. It's too all over the map, and you don't know from day to day what's going to happen next.
Because he doesn't know. It all depends on how he wakes up on a given morning.
Hopefully he can bring some order to the mix. Because it was so positive to see the growth.
It was.
But then when we read this, it kind of leaves that sour taste in our mouth that we had before the season.
Well, that kid might be tougher than we thought because if he's succeeding after all this, that's what's going on, he's much tougher than we previously thought.
It's a different story. Guys, where's LeBron?
Where
coming
is
back?
he?
Is he coming back?
You know where he is?
Yep.
I don't know.
I'd like your inside information, Shannon, because we would like him to come back so we can talk about him. We're going to tell you the latest we know next.
Maybe Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe Tuesday.